On today's episode of the Box2Box podcast, Gase and Tan, seeing as Reza's not there, go through the week just gone's games. They also look at the future games coming up this weekend. Gase goes on an absolute mental one from the Liverpool game, and the boys also discuss the worst loss in Manchester United's history. On to the podcast we go. Hello, and welcome to the 10th episode of the Box2Box podcast. If you haven't had a chance to watch last week's episode, please go back and watch it now. It was quite a lengthy rant about Man United, but I'm sure it'll be the same again this week as we all know what happened at the weekend. I'm joined today only by Gase. How's it going, mate?
Well, I mean, you say how's it going? I don't really want to talk about football right now, but we've got to. So, can't believe it's the 10th episode already, man.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
I'm not too bad, mate. How you doing?
Good. Yeah, I'm good, thank you, pal. Reza unfortunately can't be with us today. He is skiving, really, pretty much.
Yeah, he's just given up.
He's just given up. I think he got so angry at the United game at the weekend that it's now just got to the point where he's like, yeah, probably best not do it this week before I try and kill someone.
That's it. It's death row. It's either you do the podcast go on death row or just walk away.
He chose walk away. Alright, we'll dive straight into the games then. So I know I didn't get your predictions for last week, so we won't do that side of things this week. But first game from last weekend, Arsenal versus Villa. On the Friday night football. What do you think of it?
Yeah, to be fair, I mean Arsenal, like I said, Arsenal look like they're hitting their stride now. Good performance all around from them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Villa again, I think we say this every single week. Been really well. I expected more, should we say?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know what's happened.
I mean, Grealish maybe had that much of an impact, and losing that one-star man, getting in, even though they got in 2-3 signers at top quality, it's not enough for him, clearly.
Yeah, it's clearly not enough.
But don't take it away from Arsenal. They looked good. They're like I said, they're looking on it, and that Emil Smith Rowe for a young kid's looking really good for him. So
yeah,
Arsenal,
no, he is looking very good. To be fair to him, very good.
yeah.
I think Villa rely a lot on Bailey, don't they? And he's been injured.
Injured, and
so I think he came on at half time. Yeah, and he came on at half time because he hasn't been playing at all lately. So I think they rely on him quite a lot. So it's sort of like Grealish, they relied on him quite a lot the year before. They're trying to make Bailey their new Grealish, but I think he's keep too injury prone.
Injury prone, obviously he's got to adapt, right? Whereas Grealish used to UK like English football, and
he's used to having this shit kicked out of him.
He's come from the German league, and it's just it's different.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, definitely. I think that's definitely right.
But no, just Arsenal more clinical overall. They were.
I think like they've got their players back now, so they've started to play a little bit better than they were at the start of the season.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we'll move on to the next one then. So Chelsea Norwich. I just look at the game, watching it back, going, is that Man United defending or is that Norwich?
We're not far off that, mate.
just sitting there going, hang on a minute, that's where Lindelof was at the weekend. Nah. But we were wearing orange or yellow for some reason.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think you could tell the difference between Beg Gibson, Grant Hanley, and Maguire and bloody Lindelof, to be honest. There ain't a difference. I mean, we're talking about Chelsea, which is probably the best team at the moment, against the worst team in the Prem. That got done 7-0. We weren't far off this.
Worst team.
Let's not go into it. Let's get back on the Chelsea game. Yeah. Let's get back to it.
Yeah, let's not. Chelsea were very, 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 very good.
They have been.
I don't. They didn't even get out of about second, third gear either. I don't think they just blew them away. Yeah, they blew them away. Mount had a great game. Reece James had a really good game as well.
Reece James was really good.
I've
got both fullbacks, to be fair.
Yeah, Chilwell's been coming to his own lately.
Yeah, I think Norwich obviously let you do that because they do try and sit back and they get caught quite a lot. But Chilwell and Reece James looked insane. Norwich again can't defend to save their lives, but who are we to say that? But no, it was complete domination from Chelsea. I think Norwich had one shot or at least one shot on target or something. I'm pretty sure it's something like
Have a look.
that.
Stats. They had 3
But
shots, 1 on
three
target.
shots, one on target. Yeah. At least they hit the target once, probably from like a 40-yard smash or something. But no, it was complete domination from start to finish. Mount, good hat trick, and
Yeah.
Reece James's goal. I thought that was a really nice finish for a right
No,
back.
it was. Yeah, I did think Mount was going to get his hat trick because he missed a pen, didn't he?
He did miss the pen, and then
So I didn't think he was going to get it, and then all of a sudden he got it.
who was it right at the end? Was it Loftus Cheek who literally just passed it, squared it to him?
Yeah,
Someone
literally
gave
squared
him
it
the
to him.
play.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but once again, dominant performance by Chelsea.
Not much you can say.
Yeah, I don't think there's much you can say really. Like, it's nothing that like you can be like, oh, they're even more title favourites because they won 7-0. I think it's just a case of they met the worst team in the Premier League and they battered them. Basically, what happened.
They're still on form. They haven't struck.
Yeah, they haven't.
Off form at all, so.
Yeah, they haven't started to be off form yet. But yeah, I think that probably covers the whole Chelsea game. Not much really you can really say about it.
No.
It's just dominating performance.
Landslide.
Yeah.
Landslide.
We'll move on then from that one and go to the first 3 o'clock kickoff, which was Palace Newcastle.
Yeah, you go for it, mate. Go on.
Me go for it. I mean, I probably didn't watch as much as you did, but I don't know how Christian Benteke is a Premier League forward.
Top quality, mate.
I seriously,
headers, man.
I can't. I genuinely think if I was put in those positions, I score a hat trick game for Palace. I'm sitting at home, unfit, couldn't last 5 minutes. Still genuinely believe I'd bang in more goals than Benteke does for Palace.
It's weird, isn't it? Because he's actually quite a good target man. Like you put the ball up there, he's getting there. He just can't finish.
I can imagine he goes home at the end of the weekend. His missus goes, "You scored today." He goes, "No, but you never guess what? They still think I'm a footballer. I can't believe it. Can you believe it?" She's laughing her head off with a fucking unbelievable house, fucking unbelievable car, going, fucking mugs them like, Jesus, fucking hell.
But no, I thought Palace dominated the game, start to finish, pretty much. I mean, I think they were quite shaky at the back.
Yeah.
It was just Newcastle had a couple of chances cut through them again, especially with crosses. Benteke's a big guy to deal with. They couldn't deal with him that much.
Yeah.
If he could hit the back of the net, like we said, it could have been worse.
Of course.
But...
No, well, yeah. The thing is, if he hits the back of the net with 1 or 2 of his chances, Palace win the game easy. Not even I obviously we'll get onto Callum Wilson's goal in a minute, but that they could have been 4-5-0 up before Callum Wilson even puts the ball in the back of the net.
No, I agree.
I know it's a coulda, shoulda, woulda, but
yeah, it is coulda, woulda, shoulda, but yeah, it is what it is though. That is literally what we're saying. It's like what's happened. If they could score more goals, they'd win games like that. It sounds easy, but clearly it's not.
Just
but
before
Palace were.
I was gonna say just before we do go on to Callum Wilson's goal, I was just going to say shout out to Gallagher. I think he's been playing class for Palace.
He is top quality in the midfield.
Yeah, normally when you think of Palace, you talk about Zaha and normally a winger that goes with him. It was Balassi before, but now and Townsend, but now both of them are gone. But it's normally you think if Zaha's not on form, then they don't normally do anything. But Gallagher's really got them ticking, playing really well.
Yeah, they look quite a good team in general though. Palace, right? They look good.
Yeah,
Vieira's got them ticking. They just need to hit.
I'm shocked. I genuinely am shocked. I didn't think Vieira had it in him from his previous stint in the Premier League, and I mean he only went to America and then he went back. Was it AC Milan or Inter? One of the two. And he didn't really do much there. I just thought this is a recipe for disaster, especially with Newcastle losing a lot of their players. But then I suppose probably the players they lost were deadwood players. The ones that are coming to the end of their career and it's sort of like bon voyage time sort of things. Bye bye.
I mean, giving ex-players the job as a big coach.
Stop it, mate. You said you can stop talking about us till we get to it.
All right.
So Newcastle, Callum Wilson, talk to me.
Really? I mean, you're right. You were arguing me that it wasn't an overhead; it was over his head, mate. It came over his head, and it was a banging finish. Good goal. Good, to be fair. Good way to square the game off, to be honest. But yeah, again, 100% Palace feel the unlucky ones to come away with a draw.
I did think that Callum Wilson's goal was not good, mate. I still think it was unbelievable. I just feel like it was more of his feet were still on the floor, he hit it and then jumped on his back. But I mean, still unbelievable goal to pull that out of the bag when you're 1-0 down away from home. Jesus Christ, in front of the home fans as well. Bloody hell.
Yeah, no.
What a way to do it.
Insane goal.
Right, so we'll move away from the Palace game then, and we'll move to the thriller that was Everton-Watford. I'll let you take it away, mate.
That was a really good game to watch. I don't know what happened. Everton looked really solid in the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, Josh King obviously fired, but straight back after they scored because Everton scored well early on.
Yeah.
King fired back, but still, even at 1-1, it looked Everton was still there. They were still firing away, and they looked the better team. And then the second half came around, and boom! I have no idea what happened. They then all of a sudden Ole Gunnar Solskjaer took over as coach.
I was gonna say, you know that scene in Waterboy when Waterboy's Adam Sandler's coach is reading that Coaching for Dummies book. It's like Rafa was on the sidelines going coaching by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Just reading it, going.
They just completely fell apart. I don't know what happened. Literally, I mean, if you look at their game, you watch our game, the defending ain't much different. Don't have a clue what happened there. I mean, Watford are quite a force going forward, and good on King. Well done, big hat trick for you, my man. Well done. But yeah, sloppy defending from Everton, and they can't defend a set piece to save their life. Sound familiar? Just saying. Anyway, go on, Tan, take it away.
No, it was very good from Watford. To be fair, to come back to him, I didn't give him a chance last week. I thought going to Everton, I thought Everton were going to win this comfortably, and once again proved wrong. But yeah, no, Joshua King, his hat-trick goal as well. I know we spoke about it earlier ourselves before the podcast, but I thought that was a really well taken. It was a FIFA goal, wasn't it? Really, it's like something you'd score on FIFA. The little ball roll,
ball roll, and
tucking it in. Yeah, no, really good goal by him, bless him. And to score against a team that didn't want you anymore and got rid of you, it shows a lot of class to go there. It probably gave him a bit more fire.
Yeah, 100%.
Scoring against the team that said that he's said he's not good enough anymore, wanted to get rid of him. So probably gave him a bit of fire. But yeah, worrying for Everton a little bit because I don't know what's happened to them that makes them defend like that, especially Rafa. But then, I mean, I saw a stat worryingly in the week.
Team talk must have been the reverse. Don't go out there and try and win. Just shit the bed.
Well, I saw a stat in the week that goes to Rafa Benitez and his time at Newcastle.
Yeah.
His win-loss ratio, I think, is worse than Steve Bruce's. But for some reason, fans just tend to like him. I don't know why. But yeah, and obviously they hated Steve Bruce at the time for Newcastle, but I don't think he's the right man for Everton, and I think things could go.
It's weird, isn't it? Because previously, and even if you look at that first half, Everton looked good. I don't know. I mean, they had all their players. I don't know. They brought on. I don't know if you watched the game fully, but their fans booed the change because they took off their young kiddie, Anthony Gordon. They took him off for, I think, Richarlison, and then Richarlison comes straight on and scores a goal. But I think, yeah, they're a bit on edge, the fans at the moment, even though I thought their team was performing quite well up until this.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose if the youngster's doing unbelievable,
yeah, why take him off?
Why take him off, sort of thing? Take somebody else off.
That's it.
Just because he's a youngster, you don't need to take him off.
True.
He must have been the one that I thought. Was he the one that gave the first goal? Gordon tore. I think it's a different game. Yeah, I think it's a different game. Yeah, I can't remember what game I'm thinking of now. tore the right back a new one, cut inside and then. No, it was that game. I swear it was. He cut outside, then cut back in. Or sorry, cut in and then cut back out again, and then squared it across for Everton's first goal. It was really well played for him.
I just know that he was playing really well, and obviously the fans were not happy about him being replaced.
I can understand, especially is he a local lad as well? If he is, then I can understand why. Yeah. It's like you draw to your local players a lot more than what they're than when you buy them. Jesus, 35 shots in that game.
Mad.
Jesus.
It was mad. I mean, Watford again. Watford do look pretty. Who's Watford's left wing? Who have they brought? Is it Hernandez? Cuco Hernandez. He looks pretty good. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be like an Adama, where as soon as they give him the ball, he can take a few players on, but then just No, I say that. I can't say he can't finish. He scored like a 25-yard curler into the other corner the other week. So no, he looks good. I mean, Watford again impressing me this season.
Yeah, no, yeah, they are pulling something out of the bag that I didn't think they had.
Yeah, hundred
Right,
percent.
I think that does the Watford game. What was one after that? Leeds versus Wolves. I
Fire away,
mean,
mate.
thank you, mate. Give me all the great ones. Um, I actually I was quite impressed with Leeds that they didn't concede more than one. I know it's quite a sad thing to say, but normally you expect Leeds and they tend to just concede quite easily.
Because
And
they pushed so far up. Didn't
I thought even though Adama Traore couldn't score in a fucking strip club if you gave him 100 quid, I genuinely still think even though he can't score, I think they would have got a few because he just gets so many chances. I thought it's going to click at one point. He's going to score at one point. It's going to be against Leeds because he's going to get so many chances. But they actually kept him down to a minimum.
they? Yeah.
And you're like, I thought Leeds played quite well and probably, arguably, deserved the win. Um, but they ended up having to try and claw back in. I think it was like a 90 something minute pen. Yeah, 94th minute pen.
94th minute penalty. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's one of those where you're like they just straggled a point when
Literally
really
just
they should have won that game quite comfortably.
nah. 100%. I thought, yeah, they were on top. They controlled the game. Wolves got a pretty lucky break for the goal. Both teams had their chances, but yeah, Leeds just again, even though they've obviously got Bamford and that, they can't seem to put the ball in the back of the net. I mean, I don't think Bamford was playing. Was Bamford playing?
No, Brentford wasn't playing actually. They started with Little Shit playing as Cam, and then Rodrigo up top.
And James, yeah.
Anyone who doesn't know who Little Shit is Dan James.
Um,
He,
yeah, no. So obviously Bamford they're missing him because clearly, I mean, they had what did they have? 18 shots in the game. Yeah, 18 shots in the
yeah,
game.
yeah, no, yeah.
4 on target. They just couldn't hit the target. They were on top, and I mean, I say they feel hard done by, but it's their own fault for not being able to finish. But yeah,
Yeah, it's one of those you can't really like. If you're the one that can't finish, you can only blame yourself. You're creating the chances and you don't finish them. You can't blame anything else. It's just your team.
yeah,
Your
no, that's
strikers
it.
aren't
They
good enough.
created all the chances, they just couldn't get it, put it away.
Yeah, yeah. I think that to be fair, I don't think you can really say much else on that game. Um,
No,
if anyone watches it, you probably could say it had draw written all over it before the game because Leeds can't defend and Wolves can't score. So you could probably say it's one thing's got to give, but draw was probably. Oh no, I'd say not. No, Leeds should have had it, but I suppose Wolves can take it. And then, would you feel hard done by 94th minute pen?
I mean, Wolves sort of, but they didn't really deserve to be up in the game anyway. So I think
Yeah,
for Wolves, it's like a fair result. Whereas Leeds, if you're Leeds, you feel. I'd
yeah.
imagine you feeling a little bit hard done by, even though you did get a penalty
No,
last
yeah,
second.
no. I think you're right with that. Yeah, yeah. That's definitely what's going on there. All right, so we move from that one and move to the last. I believe it was the last 3 o'clock kickoff, wasn't it? Yeah, Southampton Burnley. I'll let you go for this one, mate. You can have the nice one.
Yeah, to be fair, it was a good game to watch. Again, Southampton look good. They just can't close games out. I
Yeah,
don't know
no,
what's going on.
I don't know either. They just can't
It
seem to close the
was
game out.
it was quite end to end at points in the game. Burnley did actually look good. That Cornet is obviously looking really good. He's scoring for him quite often, but
If they
I
can
don't
get him
know.
playing, if they can get him scoring and playing
Yeah,
really well, I think they could be a good team because he's a tricky
no,
winger and they need that.
no, that's it. And it was like I said, it was just good end to end game. Southampton though should have taken it. They're just not clinical enough. I don't know why they can't hold, and not even that they can't hold on to a lead. Um, they got the lead in this game and then they just couldn't hold it out. And I know obviously it's a long time for I think they scored in the 50th to get 2-1.
Yeah,
It's a long time to hold out a game, but they just can't seem to get a foothold and just
so I tell you,
solidify their win.
I think I know the problem is that they probably in this game in the past would have been 3 to 4-1 up, but they're not scoring the chances because there's no one like Danny Ings there to put the ball in the
Yeah,
back of the net.
no, that's true.
That's probably where the problem lies. Whereas these games in recent years, Danny Ings would have put the ball in the back of the net and they probably would have won the game. But because he's not there, they're missing chances they shouldn't really miss, and then it's costing them at the end.
Yeah,
It's a
No, you're right.
typical. It's a typical sort of like. It's the same with most of Brighton's games. Well, I know we'll get onto the Brighton Man City game in a minute, but take this week out of the equation. Brighton in previous years have got themselves into good positions, but they've ended up losing or drawing games because they haven't got anyone to put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, you got a problem when Theo Walcott's the one that's ended up as your centre forward from time
Yeah,
to time.
yeah, see what I mean? Yeah, so when you got someone like that playing centre forward for you, you're like, Jesus Christ, you've got a problem here,
Yeah, no,
boys.
I think Southampton should feel hard done by a bit because the thing is, I think we said it. It feels like we've said this every week. They're playing really good. They look good.
Yeah,
They're not coming away with a win.
no, you're not wrong there. Their manager was furious, absolutely
Booming.
furious that you got a draw. He was fuming, even though the the interviewee, no, the interviewer, sorry, was saying like, you should be happy with a draw. And he's like, what are you talking about? Happy? Batter them for 90 minutes. You're getting a win here. But for some reason, yeah, he was he was furious. I think he was furious with the interviewer. Like, what you doing, mate?
Did you not watch what I watched?
Yeah, clearly we're watching two different games.
I feel like that every week.
But yeah, anyway, that I think that pretty much covers that game. Really, Southampton deserved it and never got
Yeah.
it. But if you don't finish your chances, you can't
No,
then
that's it.
complain
And
you
to
didn't
be
win.
fair, it seems like we're saying that for a lot of teams. It's just if
Yeah.
they had a better player up top or just started putting their chances away, then be
Just
good.
before we go to
Go on.
the Brighton game, on
Yeah.
that point you just made, doesn't seem to be many of the oldie strikers kicking around. You know, the ones that like,
Darren Bent, Jermaine
yeah, the
Defoe.
ones that you just
Like,
they'd always have a goal in them. They'd always score
yeah,
you a goal, always. There doesn't seem to be many anymore. Is it
it's the
football's
Ollie
changed that
effect.
much,
No, it's
or
the Ollie
what? It's
effect.
just you don't seem to get strikers anymore.
No, Ollie effect, bruv. He comes in
I'll leave it off. I
and,
can't
and
remember how
the level of play that we're playing, people will look up to United and then they realise, oh, that's how we play. And you just see it.
Everton and Norwich clearly did this week.
No, I don't know. Yeah, the out and out strikers. I mean, that's why you look at players like Bamford because they're more of your old school big target man centre forward that's going to put goals away.
Yeah.
But no, you don't get it that much anymore. But then again, I think we talk about how football's evolved, where a lot of teams, like City, for example, play a false nine,
Yeah.
where you don't have the out and out striker. Even though obviously, I think City had probably one of the best strikers the Prem's ever had.
Yeah.
In Aguero,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it is a bit.
There's
a
a lot
weird
of
one,
teams taking that thing though. So like Leeds played Rafinha up top, and
Yeah.
he's a winger. He's not a striker. Man City, obviously, I believe played Foden up top this weekend against
Foden goes
Brighton.
up top. If not, it's the Ferran Torres and things. They change it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, they don't have like a full-on striker. Most, like, I mean, I don't want to talk about it, but look at Liverpool, right? They don't actually have a striker. Like Firmino's a centre forward. Mo Salah ends up drifting into middle. A lot of teams don't have that out and out striker.
No, of course, that's the thing. So I think that's probably why there's not that many of the. I'll probably answer my question. That's probably not why there's not that many of the older type forwards.
Yeah. True.
Because there
But
used to be
just-
loads of them kicking, not loads of them, but you know what I mean. Every club that's sort of at the bottom would have one kicking around. Like a Darren Bent would be sitting on the bench, or a Jermaine Defoe, or trying to think of any others that are trying to think of off the top of my head. Trying to think of some. Look, my brain's going mad, mate. I'm lost. There'd normally be one or two of them kicking around the league, but there doesn't seem to be any anymore. I think that's probably where the little clubs are feeling it a bit more. They haven't got these strikers to put the ball in the back of the net for them.
No, that's it. Bloody yeah. But no. Go on then. Move on to your two favourite teams in the Premier League. Anyway.
I got
I know you're a
the
Brighton fan.
absolute pleasure of watching this with my dad, and he seemed to tell me that Man City are very lucky. I'll tell you everything that he said to me when I was sitting next to him. So I'm sitting next to him watching the game. I'm like, Jesus Christ, they're tearing you a new one here in the first half. And he was like, yeah, they're very lucky. The refs are told to give everything to the top six. When you're one of the little clubs, they don't give you anything in terms of decision-wise. Which I like to remind him that Brighton have had the most VAR decisions for them. last season, but he seems to have brushed that one under the carpet with, well, not for us though. But yeah, anyway, but yeah, we'll talk about the game. So we'll talk about the game. Man City annihilated them in the first half. Is basically what happened, and I was like, Jesus Christ! At half time, I was sitting there talking to my dad. I was like, honestly, this could be like 6 or 7. And first time ever, he went, yeah, I know. Even though he said all that in the first half, he's like, yeah, no, you could be right here. But then, for some miraculous, something happened at half time. I think probably the fact that Graham Potter changed a couple of things, brought a couple of people on, I believe.
Well, that, and you've got to think City are 3-0 up, right?
Yeah.
So even though they shouldn't go into like flow mode and just chill, they no team. I mean, they probably didn't come out with the same ferocity as they had in the first.
No, yeah. So I think it was quite a start to the first half was quite like it was just like a bit of a back and forth for a little bit, and then in the 57th minute, Brighton brought 2 players on, brought Lamptey on at right back, and they brought Wapu from the one who used to play for RB Leipzig last year, or Salzburg. It brought both of those 2 on, and it changed the game massively. So Lamptey honestly was tearing their left side a new one. He was turning inside and out. He was going to the byline. He was doing everything you'd want from a right back. And I was sitting there going, I don't think Brighton keep hold of him at the end of this year. If he has another year playing the way he's playing, they were after him. Yes. Not only at Bayern Munich, I do believe someone said that Chelsea were looking to rebuy.
Right.
And also, someone said that United were after him, and someone else were. I can't remember the other player were after him.
Is he left back or is he right back?
Right back.
Oh yeah, this game.
And they're saying that they just wanted to see him for another year, and I think they said depends on the only thing that stopped people apparently from buying him is that he plays as a wing back, rather than a right back.
Yeah.
They're
so
2 completely different positions. Yeah. So if your team's going to be playing sort of 3-5-2, then he probably would be the man for you. But if your team's going to be playing more with 4 at the back, is he going to be too far forward or too rash to get back and defend?
Depends how good your centre backs are, but no.
Yeah. But them 2 changed the game, and I thought Brighton then came into their own a little bit and started playing quite well. And probably with a better finisher up top, might have had another goal and might have made it a little bit more interesting with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was impressed with Mwepu as well, to be fair to him, when they brought him on. He seemed to do very well for him. He seemed to pick up the ball and just turn, sort of like what Pogba used to do for us quite a lot. Get the ball, turn his man, and he's gone. And you can't catch him because he's too quick, he's too powerful.
It's strong.
Yeah, so the only thing is that Brighton probably missed quite a lot was Basuma was on the bench. I've asked a few Brighton fans, don't have a clue why. He's not injured anymore. I can only think the sexual assault thing that's on his head. So they're not playing him. That's the only thing I can literally think of.
Yeah, who knows? Only Potter knows that one. But no. I mean, the thing is, like, you can't take it away from Brighton. They look good, right? They, like you said, first half, obviously City dominated. I thought Bernardo Silva run the midfield. Yeah. Maybe obviously more so because Basuma wasn't in there to like help Brighton out. But I just thought Bernardo Silva this season, been playing in the centre of a park, has looked really, really good.
No one's been able to get near him.
No, you can't get near him. He's too good on the ball.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, you look at him, you look at Foden, you're like, David Silva-esque, right? You can turn one of them into that sort of player. Yeah. And David Silva's one of the best centre attacking mids that you've had in like world football, let alone like the Premier League. So
yeah,
City have talent throughout. Obviously, again, they don't have a striker. Again, Phil Foden looked unreal. 2 goals and assist in this game as well.
Yeah, no, he did play very well.
But don't take it away from Brighton. They had their chances. They could have had a few, and they play nice football. So, but City at the end of the day just too good.
Yeah, no, I was quite surprised, to be fair, that Brighton in the second half actually really, really went for it and started to play really well. But
yeah, don't lay down and die. Go for it. Good,
yeah,
good,
I think
good mentality to have, eh?
Just a little bit too late.
Yeah.
Alright, so that does that game then. Then we move on to the first one on the Sunday. I'll give you the Brentford Leicester game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you go first on that one.
I actually thought it was a really good game. Again, Brentford looked so good. I don't know. I was saying to you earlier, Brentford looked like the Leeds of last season, or the Sheffield United of a couple of seasons ago. I'll hold my hands up. I didn't have them being relegated. Yes. And I mean, you changed your little prediction.
I did.
Yeah,
Don't start waffling, mate. I didn't.
yeah.
I had it before the game written down where I said that I didn't think they were going to go down.
They look really good. Tony looked solid again. As a team, they're a unit, right? They work for each other. I think they were really, really hard done by not coming away with this with at least a draw.
Yeah.
Then again, you look at Tielemans' goal, which, to be fair, I think is going to be my goal of the week. Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, mate,
and he's got that in his locker, though, hasn't he?
You could see it as soon as he was running for it. You're like, that's in. I didn't even, in the highlights, I didn't even say that Tielemans screamed or anything like that. It just literally said the result. I was like, wow, that's in. I knew it.
But I think if you watch the highlights, you watch the game, you look at the stats, it all leans towards Brentford. So it's just a bit of a. I'd imagine it's a hard one to take for Brentford, not taking at least a draw out of this.
Yeah.
Because they were overall the better side.
No,
Leicester looked shaky at the back. Leicester aren't the same Leicester. I don't know what's happened to them this season.
Fana getting injured, maybe.
Fana getting injured. Maybe Brendan Rodgers is starting to lose it a little bit. Maybe he's coming to the end of his term. I don't know. But they just don't look on it. And Brentford again are up for every game. Look good, but unfortunately didn't get anything out of this one.
Hopefully, we're not playing them for a while.
No, don't say that.
Until we get a new manager. Right, that does the Brentford Leicester game. I'll take care of the West Ham Tottenham game then, I suppose.
You can take the next two. Yeah, go on, mate.
No, yeah, we can do the next one, both of us. But yeah, no, West Ham Tottenham. To be fair to him, I think it was a typical game of Europa League was midweek, and they were both played on the Sunday. Even though most of Tottenham's players didn't play in the Europa League game, and West Ham's did. It's just a typical Europa League Sunday, is what I would call it. Neither club really doing too much in terms of running wise. Both of them look knackered. West Ham, I think, probably edged it in terms of they should have won.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a case of, I reckon Tottenham had all the possession, but didn't do anything with it.
That's literally, yeah. That's what I've got. Tottenham had a couple of chances. They controlled the ball. They just couldn't do anything in the final third. They just don't look good. Harry Kane keeps doing his thing where he drops to the halfway line or drops way back, which could be good if teams went onto them. Like last season, it worked really well because players left gaps in behind, doing mad over the top ball to Heung-min Son through on goal. Teams are onto that now, so it's not open. So Harry Kane drops off, and they've lost their striker.
Yeah, and then Tottenham, he's trying to catch up. He's just too far behind.
Tottenham just don't look on it. And I mean, obviously, we've got a Tottenham fan who's a good mate of ours, and it's just he thinks he's lost the dressing room already. I mean, he's had 7 games. I don't know how he's lost the dressing room. He never seemed to have had it.
No, I think what's lost the dressing room is not selling Harry Kane.
Yeah.
When he wanted to go.
And he hasn't really made Nuno hasn't put his own touch on the team yet. I don't think it's a really weird situation they're in. I'm not looking forward to this week, to be honest.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
To see what happens, but
something's got to happen. 2 shit teams playing each other. Something's got to happen, in it really. Well, you'd like to think, it's going to be a boring.
That it's going to be a nil-nil boring draw. No one's going to go out their own half. Just sit on the halfway line with the ball and just chill. But no, other than that, Antonio the Beast strikes again.
I don't know how he does it.
He's a monster, mate. He's turned into an absolute beast.
Yeah.
I say turned in. He's always had it. This season, though, he's just full on.
Did he start as a winger, though? It was more like they played him on the wing, and now they're
playing him on the left wing.
Did David Moyes put him up top? Because if he is, that's unbelievable management. Just to go, we're sticking you up top because you've got a goal in you, and it just turned him into an unbelievable striker.
Yeah, I mean, Moyes has done, take your hat off to him, he's done really well for him. West
Ham, yeah.
They look really good, they look solid all round, and
good dressing room.
Is an absolute monster.
Good dressing room to be a part of by the looks of Rice's social media. It seems like the camaraderie between them all was like...
That's it, they got the Lord Lingard vibes, mate.
Yeah. I genuinely think that if they had Lingard in their team, they'd actually be higher up the table. I
Yeah.
know they're fourth,
Well,
but
he
I
was firing
genuinely
on all
think they
cylinders
could.
for him, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think they could
So,
be like. I mean, they're fourth, so they're not exactly as if they're far off, and they're only 5 points off top. But I genuinely think they could be like a point off top or 2 points off top.
no, they're definitely. I mean, they're still within the mix, but yeah, I
Uh,
agree with that. I mean, they're a solid team who no one's going to look forward to playing at all for the last
nah.
2 seasons, and this season obviously included. So,
Yeah.
right.
Right. Well, I know we're ignoring the
Right.
inevitable.
No. Should we just go on to the team of the week?
No, so we've got to talk on it. Where do you want to start?
I don't. The most embarrassing day as a United fan in my life.
Yeah, yeah.
I think genuinely the hardest shit I've ever had to take in my life watching that. Not just because people are, oh, you got battered. The thing is, we knew we were going to get done.
Yeah,
It's getting
first big
done
team.
because of the thing is, right. There's getting done. Like, I don't mind doing done 2-0, 3-1, but getting absolutely fucking battered 5-0 at home against the biggest rivals we've ever had, we're ever gonna have. They are our biggest rivals. I don't give a shit who you are, right? You watch Everton every year. Even though if their team last year were down in the dumps, or the year before, they were absolutely awful, they go to Liverpool, they go for Anfield, they give everything. It's the biggest derby. It's their biggest game of the year. You kill yourself on that pitch, and you do not come away. Well, you might come away with a loss, but you come away knowing that you fucking gave it a good go. We gave up. They literally tore us a new arsehole. They shat all over us. We were tactically inept. Our players were tactically inept. No one had the clue what they were doing. There's no
Half
style of
pressing,
play.
no centre
Half press.
midfielder shows
Well,
for a
that's what I
ball.
mean. And like people were talking about, maybe Bruno was the trigger to start pressing. Like Bruno shouldn't be pressing 60 yards up the pitch. The players, if he is going to do that, need to go with him. If they can't go with him, then stay in your fucking positions. I don't understand who's coaching these players. I don't understand the whole mentality of the players as well, because I'm sorry, if you look at the players on the pitch, the only one to me, and for some reason everyone's shitting on him for some reason, was CR7 that gave a fuck, right? I don't care that it was nasty, him kicking the ball. It showed that he had a bit of passion for the game. Right, I don't care. Obviously, you come under fire for this. Boot the shit again, little prick on the floor. I'm sorry. But, at least he showed that he gave a shit. Everyone else didn't give a crap. No one cared. At least, and their teams, like you said about camaraderie, their team comes around all to defend, and our team is just like, yeah, it's what it is. Like, what's happening? No one gave a shit. There's
no
I
fire,
don't know if it's
no passion,
no fire at all. It's Liverpool.
No...
It's Liverpool, right? It's our pinnacle of the season. I don't care if City are better than us, Chelsea are better than us. Yeah, they're big games. This is the game, though. This is the game you
turn up for.
You do not lift off the pedal. You leave
Even in
everything
previous
out there.
years, you look at when Liverpool were awful and had awful
And
teams.
they always came to us and gave us a run. You know,
They always get, and sometimes they even beat us. You go back to sort of 08, 09 and like 07, 08, when we were dominant in the league. I mean, they done us 4-1 at home.
I just
that season.
The thing is, for the last 5 years, you go into this game, and apart from, even though I don't like him after the PSG game, one of the only players that I really remember giving a lot of passion was Ander Herrera, where he looked like he gave a shit. He was willing to put everything, like a Deontay Wilder would say, go out on his shield. He was willing to put everything on that pitch. Not that Ronaldo was willing to give it, but Ronaldo to me was the only one that he really cared. And though obviously kicking a player, it hurt him. You could tell he was hurting. He had a moment of world class where he scored that goal that I don't know how it was offside, but unfortunately it was offside. But yeah, even as something stupid as kicking someone on the floor, it showed that he had so much passion. He was fired up because what was happening to us. People talking about, it's not the manager, it's not the tactics. Shut the fuck up, please. I've had enough of your bullshit. Just see through everything that's going on in front of you.
I physically, I don't get, yeah. I don't get how you can watch it and go, it's the players' fault. It's partly their fault.
Well,
I get it.
Understand. You understand to a point, right? You look at Shaw and Maguire running into each other. What are you doing? That's not a manager's problem. That's the defenders being stupid. But in terms of pressing, time when pressing, positional awareness, knowing your knowing your position on a football pitch, knowing how to play football, that's drilled into you by your manager and your coaches, right? You've got to be tactically aware of what you need to do when you need to do it. Yes, everyone's like, oh, they should know they're professional footballers. Everyone's a professional footballer. You still need guidance to know what sort of style of play you're playing on the pitch. We have nothing.
Yeah.
There's no, and the thing is, I didn't even see Mike Phelan on the sideline this time either. Jurgen Klopp, you're 5-0 up, and Jurgen Klopp is still on the sideline giving his team what for. Not giving his team what for, obviously, but he's guiding them, he's coaching them live in the game. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sat, I mean, at the end of it, he stood up and looked like he was going to cry, which hit us all hard. But most of the game sits down sulks. Carrick sits down sulks. What's the other guy called? McKenna. What's his name?
Gavin McKenna, whatever it is, or I can't remember.
Sat down. Mike Phelan gets up sometimes, but Mike Phelan's a dinosaur, right? He needs to go as well. There's nothing. There's nothing from the sideline. And like I said to you, you watch Jurgen Klopp's an anomaly. Jurgen Klopp's a top class manager. Pep Guardiola is a top class manager. A lot of managers you see, and I was saying to you about previous managers of ours, like you look at Mourinho, you could tell, even though he didn't have a go at players that much, like live time in game, you could see he was on the sideline, passionate, and he was animated. You could tell he was fuming. He'd go at the fourth official, he'd go at some players, he'd be going mental on the sideline, kicking them up the arse. And I saw like an interview or a tweet from Louis Saha, who was like, there was no passion from the players, and the players should have been shouting at each other. But that also feeds from the fucking back staff. That feeds from your coach. That feeds from your manager. They're not doing it. The players aren't willing to do it because everyone's a snowflake nowadays. Bruno shouts at people. They end up having a fucking argument. Someone starts crying. The manager should be on that touchline going absolutely mental and just trying to G them up, mate. Mason Greenwood and Wan-Bissaka. I mean, our whole team was terrible, right? But Mason Greenwood and Wan-Bissaka did not give a shit. They both pressed that player, and then Greenwood flung his arms up like, oh. Greenwood and Bruno both flung their arms up. Do something. Help your team out defend.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on, Sam.
Yeah. I can't. I get angry and angrier, and I can't fathom what's going on with us anymore. I sit there. I don't get it. I don't get how what style they're trying to coach, what they're trying to implement. I mean, you look at sort of,
Well, this
if you don't do what your manager wants, in any football match, your manager won't play you. So there's either one or two things got to happen.
You don't know what your manager does in any sort of job.
No, listen, one or two things got to happen. Either Ollie's got to come out and say they're not doing what I'm asking them to do. Otherwise, he's got to sit there and take that everyone says you don't know how to do your job. It's one or two things. It's either you haven't got an absolute fucking Scooby-Doo what you're doing there.
And he clearly doesn't.
Or you're saying it and they ain't listening to you.
The players also need to the players need to front up. The players need to come out and just speak their mind. I wish there was a camera in this meeting the other day. I bloody wish there was a camera in the open meeting that everyone had where they all had it out and people were talking about bloody. And they were having it out with the manager, people calling out Solskjaer, people calling out Maguire for having captaincy. And I agree with all that shit. But I just want to know what's going on. Because there is nothing. There's no structural integrity with the whole club at the moment. On the pitch. Obviously, Solskjaer's brought a bit of structure to us. There's a good was a good vibe. I think that game there has killed a lot of that, and it's going to take some serious confidence boosting if we do not come through Saturday. If we do not do anything against them, I'm sorry, he has to go. I've had enough. And then we can get on to, should Conte come in? Should the Ajax manager come in? And that's a really difficult one, right? But he has to go. He's got nothing.
Well,
there's
like
nothing
I say,
about
mate,
him.
One thing's got to happen. It's either he hasn't got an absolute Scooby-Doo what's going on. Like, literally just doesn't have a clue. Or the players are not listening to him. Which, if the players aren't listening to you, then don't play them. Play somebody else who's going to listen to you.
Are you telling me... I get what you're saying. But you're telling me, you look at that dressing room, are you telling me that Bruno and Ronaldo is going to let people shit on Solskjaer? Genuinely.
Gonna let people shit. What do you mean by that?
Well, is he going to let people shit on Solskjaer by just ignoring what he's saying? He wouldn't let that happen. He's got the old vibes within him, right? And the way the man is built on a winning mentality. The manager's telling him what to do. He will not let a player sit back and slack. You can see the way he acts on the pitch. Oh, he looks like a spoiled kid. He's fucking fuming because he knows what it's like to be a winner, and these shitters have no idea. And they've also got big egos for some reason, which no one... I don't understand why Graham has got such a big ego. You're a good kid, but you're fucking useless at the moment, and you need guidance. You should be looking at Ronaldo being as a role model. My point here is that I do not think that if they're given tactics and that, and people aren't doing them, I believe that Bruno Ronaldo will call you up on it. They will call you up on it, right? I think they're those sort of players.
Yeah, I think so.
So I don't think it's a case of he's not coaching them and the players aren't doing it. I just don't think we're tactically aware of how to approach certain games. And I'm sorry, like, if we're talking from a tactical standpoint, the way that we play this season, or the way that we've played for the last 3 years, and the way that we've won our games is very counter-attacking. We sit, even though it's shit to watch, I hate it. We sit, we let teams attack us, we counter. Why then would you start then going to Liverpool, one of the best teams in the world, with arguably the best player in the world at this moment in Salah, go to press them, leaving gaps in behind your shitty defenders? Without Varane, Maguire looks lost. That defence, and a lot of people give Varane, like, I don't know why people shit on Varane, because we lose him, and all of a sudden, that we were a shambles anyway, but we lose him, and you can tell how bad our defence is. That guy's trying to hold that back four together.
It's like we were saying for ages we need a centre-back, and then as soon as we got a world-class one, we're like, fuck, we need a back four.
You realise how bad the others around him are. And he is that good. And the thing is, I was watching, like we said, the kickoff, the podcast where they were all explaining, they were saying, like, losing Varane is huge. Like, because he would recognise, like, and I mean, Maguire's been terrible. And a lot of people were saying that Maguire should be dropped when Varane's fit. And I agree with it. Like, if you're going to be a shit like Lindelof, I hate him, right? But he's not been as bad as Maguire.
I don't know why you don't just go Varane and buy.
Yeah, be good. But
I'd love to see that, both two together.
Varane's good enough to try and recognise, and it's a hard job for him, and it shouldn't be done. But he's good enough to recognise that Wan-Bissaka leaves in those stupid gaps that he can't recover from. So he'll cover it, and hopefully he can try and cover two players, which he shouldn't be doing. But unfortunately, the right back is coached like a fucking melon, mate, because he's useless. He's absolutely useless. I'm sorry. One-on-one situation is great. Well done. You can make a challenge. But to me, everything that we talk about, everything that we discuss, everything that you look into, you can't tell me that these players are this stupid. When people say dumb players, I'm sure there's situations like the Maguire and Shaw hitting into each other. That's being stupid. But there's no way that these players being out of position constantly, pressing when they should be pressing, isn't a coaching problem. It's a coaching problem, 100%.
Yeah, it winds me up when people say it's a player problem. It's not. I mean, you can obviously put some blame on the players and be like...
100% it is. Like, the players are on the pitch at the end of the day.
But if you're not coached properly, you're not going to do well. You can have the best players in the world. If you're not going to coach properly, you're trying to work out for himself.
And that's what I mean. Take it away from football for a minute. You go in... So say, for example, you go into a job for... go to Curry's, right? Go back to Curry's. You're selling electronics. You need fucking training on what you're selling. Otherwise, you have no idea what you're doing. And this is a prime example of what I see on the pitch. They don't know what they're doing. They understand the basics of what their role is, but they don't know what to do outside of that because there is no game plan.
Someone's been blowing some fucking smoke up their ass because they seem to think they're unbelievable at their position. Every single one of them.
Yeah. No, definitely.
They seem 100%. To think they're the best thing since sliced bread. They're unbelievable. Wan-Bissaka must think he's the best right back in the world. Greenwood must think he's the best player in the world. You're fucking not. You're far from it until you start actually showing that you are.
No, I agree, and it seems to be the younger ones that are being affected in a bad way.
But then that stems from that to me still stems from the manager because
100%.
You've got
you need to level them out.
That's what you're the one that's there to do that to the younger kids. It's not the job of the players to do it to younger kids. They'll be the role model. Cristiano will be the role model. Edison Cavani's going to be the role model. But if you've got someone that's a bratty nosed kid that won't fucking learn and properly be himself and learn what they're doing and do exactly what they're doing and he thinks he's the fucking dog's bollocks, he ain't gonna do
But
anything.
then this is where I got really angry at Gary Neville. I think it was Gary Neville, or a lot of people were blaming the signing of Ronaldo, saying, "Oh, Solskjaer didn't want Ronaldo. Fuck off. If Ronaldo's up for grabs and you have an opportunity to get one of the best players that's ever lived, you're getting that player that's ever lived, right?"
Yeah,
Now
and
they're
it
saying no,
helps
but
you.
people are saying, "Oh, Ronaldo has hindered the whole mentality of the club because there's too many egos, too many." Well, then get those pricks and bring them down a level. You are not a Ronaldo. Ronaldo is literally, and the thing is, like, even though he's not, I don't know what people expected, but he's not like going to be a 40 goal a year man. It's still Cristiano Ronaldo. You idolise him, you learn from him. You are never going to be, maybe. No. None of our players are ever going to be as good as him. You're not going to be as good as him, so you can idolise, but don't think you're better than. Which is a situation which everyone's like, oh, United have too many egos, too many players that think want to be the best, want to be the star. When Ronaldo's come in and he is the star. Get to grips with it. You're a professional footballer. That man is a star, and he reminisces like he is one of in world football for what 14 years. He's been there.
More
Get
than
off your
that,
high
mate.
horse, and
Oh
that's
yeah, yeah.
where they need to be pegged back. They need to be sorted out, brought down to earth, and just sat
They,
down and been
they
like,
they need a manager that's just going to be strict with him. That's
mm-hmm.
not going to be, I, it's just nice. It's just too nice by the sounds of
Yeah.
it. It's too,
But
oh, yeah, you can get away with this stuff. Like Wan-Bissaka was caught. I read the other day in the newspaper. Was caught speeding. He's now banned for. He was banned while he was from driving, and he was caught driving when he was banned.
wasn't he driving drunk when he was banned as well, or
Yeah.
something?
Why?
Yeah.
What the fuck is
No,
going
the
on?
kid's head's gone, and I don't understand. But I am conscious that we've not. I'm not talking about time. We've taken a lot of time at United, but I will for if any Liverpool fans listen to this,
Yeah.
you're very good. Your manager is
He was in
bloody
second gear.
sensational. You had 1 or 2 gears to go still, I think, and I don't know if Klopp would have said it, but I feel like Klopp did tell them to chill out because genuinely they should have beat us 8-9-0. Mo Salah, I'll hold my hands. I hate him, but he is. I think he's the best player in the world at the moment. Um, he is sensational. Liverpool were very, very, very good.
Yeah.
Hopefully Naby Keita's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully so for him. No one likes to see an injury.
No one wants to see an injury like that, especially. It was a stupid tackle, but still, it's yeah, that's one to be discussed. But no, I mean, like I said, nothing taken away from Liverpool. They beat a shit Man United team, but they're still very good. But like I said, even us on form, mate, they still had 1 or 2 gears to go. They would have dominated us no matter what.
Yeah. No matter what United turned up, they were winning. By
They
the
were
looks of it.
winning. They were way too much. And the thing is, Paul Scholes had a psychic's glass, didn't he predicted the future. He literally sat down in that BT studio and said, if they come against any top team after Atalanta, because I don't care anyone. I mean, yes, it was a good atmosphere because we came back from 2-0 down. Against, to be fair, no offence to them, they were shit. Everyone's like, oh no, they're in the Champions League. They were shit. I'm sorry. If you're telling me they weren't shit, go watch the game back and you talk to me later. They were shit. We came back and I felt that we were going to win anyway because we should have won. But that's
Yeah.
where Scholes said we will be exposed against a top team, and literally it did. And it should have been more than 5.
Yeah. No, it should have.
You think they were 5-0 up before we got sent off? They definitely pulled their foot off the pedal, mate. They could have absolutely annihilated us.
Yeah. No, they did.
And
All
I
right.
don't know what you think, but giving him the 1 to 3, the next 3 games to see where his future holds.
But I don't know what changed. No.
Well, that's right. What do you get?
Nothing
I'm sorry,
changes out of it.
seriously. What does beating Tottenham mean? You beat an even shitter team than yourself. What the hell did you get out of that? Tottenham are in the dumps. We're in the dumps after that. Don't get me wrong. That's the worst loss I've ever taken in my lifetime. Like everyone's like, oh, but you lost 6-1 to City. No. This is Liverpool. That was different. That was just there was nothing, and we were at home. And obviously two of the last, I think it was 6 they showed. 2 of the last 5 or 6 massive defeats in the last 80 years were under Solskjaer. Just saying. Just shows the tactical inept of him.
I think we better move away from this because otherwise we'll be here all
What do you mean?
night.
It's a 4-hour special. Shitting on Solskjaer. No, go on. Go on, mate.
We'll,
Move
we'll,
on,
we'll
move on,
move
move
on.
on.
We'll move on. That does this week. So we'll move on to our teams of the week.
Well done,
Um,
Liverpool, though. I
yeah,
hate you, but well done.
yeah. We'll leave it at that. That's done. So our team of the week, Liverpool 11.
No, going back at no, go on.
Liverpool 11 team of the week.
Pretty much, yeah. How did you want to do it? Did you want to go bit by bit?
Yeah, we might as well go a bit. But I mean, you're
Goalkeeper and
4-3-3, I
defence.
believe, aren't you? You
I'm
went for this week.
4-3-3.
I went
Yeah, I've gone
4-4-2
3.
again.
Okay.
Goalkeeper, I went Ben Foster.
I've got Allison.
I know we were having a chat about this earlier on, but I just think I know obviously a keeper conceded twice, and I'm putting him in team of the week. But I think he actually, if you watched the full game, he had an unbelievable game. Made a lot of good saves that stopped Everton from scoring when the scores were, I think it was like 1-1 and 2-1 Everton that could have put them away from Watford and not had the comeback. So that's why I put him in.
Yeah. No, I get it. Allison, obviously, we didn't have many chances, but he made a few saves, and he came out ready straight away, and he set the tone, mate. He made a big save at the beginning and was like, "Fuck you." He just set the tone. It was like, "You ain't getting past me." I just think, yeah, kept a clean sheet against us, and they annihilated us. So well done.
Yeah.
That's in a goal, and then my back four, I've got Reece James, Ben Chilwell, because Chelsea did really, really well. Van Dijk and big old Kurt Zuma.
Zuma, fair enough.
Zuma thought he played really well. He's been really good for Ham, to be fair. Like I said, West Ham looked really good. I mean, they had, obviously, he's dealing with apparently the best striker in the world in Harry Kane. And handled it like it wasn't there. So I thought, yeah, Zuma was in there for me.
I went Reece James.
Yeah.
Konate.
Yeah,
I thought considering this, he hasn't played that much for Liverpool at all to come in at Old Trafford.
I was going to do Konate and Van Dijk. I thought too much Liverpool. You know?
Yeah, that's my back two. I put Konate VVD. I'm torn between Cancelo because I thought he had a really good game for City and Chilwell.
Yeah.
I think whatever one you could put up, probably Chilwell considering they won 7-0.
Well.
Yeah, I think you've got to sort of put him in there.
Nice.
So midfield.
Midfield 3, I've got Bernardo Silva again. I thought he held down solid. I'd say he's in the same centre mid. Keita scored a good goal. And, I mean, Keita was really good prior to the injury. He was just good. Sorry, he assisted. And then Mason Mount with a hat trick.
Fair enough. I've gone obviously because I've got a 4. Salah, Keita, Mason Mount, and Emil Smith-Rowe from Arsenal.
Nice.
As my midfield 4. Yeah, I thought he had a really good game. To be fair, I thought to leave him out, I thought it would be a bit harsh. So yeah, and then obviously the rest of the midfield speaks for itself. Keita had an unbelievable game against us before he got taken
scored,
off.
Assisted. He just looked solid. He looked really,
proper
really
7
solid
midfielder.
I mean, it's not hard to look good against us. But
yeah, I mean, I know Mason Mount obviously played a lot higher up for Chelsea, but I've got 2 strikers, so I couldn't get him in up top. But he's got a hat trick, so I wanted to get him in.
Yeah, of course.
So centre midfield he goes. Strikers, what you got? Or attack?
My attack is Foden because Foden played pretty much. I think Foden played on the left, to be honest, this week, which is weird. He came in off the last.
He was the false 9. He was the false 9.
He kept floating from the left.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, no, because I thought he put Foden's in mine as well for that exact reason.
I've got Foden, Salah. Well, you can't leave out Salah and Josh King as well. Hat-trick heroes.
Yeah, I've got Josh King and Foden up top. Hat-trick hero for King, and then I think Foden himself. I just think he showed a lot of maturity playing the false 9. I know it's Brighton, with all due respect. It's not exactly the best team in the world, but play a position you don't.
Well, I think that's the way City play, obviously, because you think Grealish, Foden, and Jesus all can play across the front, so they do that interchange like we had at one point at United when we had obviously Greenwood, Martial, Rashford. They can all interchange, like everyone can play everywhere. So I think they got quite a good thing going, even though they don't have an out-and-out striker. They got a good thing going, City up there.
Yeah. So anyway, that covers our team of the week. Anyone listening, if they want to put their team of the week in the comments below, please do. We'll look at them and we will see them. And we might comment on them. So goal of the week. I mean, I'll go in Tielemans. Yeah.
I have put Tielemans as well, but with a big honourable. Oh, to be fair, Callum Wilson's could take it. Nah, go on. Tielemans will take the strike. Unbelievable banger, and then Callum Wilson is my mention.
I've got a mention as well. It's not Callum Wilson.
What?
Ramsey for Villa.
That was a good place to finish.
Yeah. So I thought I'd give him a little mention because when I was watching the games back,
Ramsdale was going mental, but
sometimes you've got to take your hat off. That's an unbelievable strike.
Yeah, no, it was insane.
I am getting it right though. I am definitely getting it right. It was Ramsey. Yeah, I'm just gonna say because I knew they had a goal disallowed. I didn't know if it was a disallowed one. I was saying, yeah, it was an unbelievable one. It was disallowed. But yeah, no, it wasn't. Right, so that does that then. So we'll move on to the predictions for the week coming up, just to finish it off. I've got it written down here to be fair. Do you want me to say my result first and you after, or what?
Up to you, mate. I don't really mind. Leicester, Arsenal. How you got it?
I got 3-1 Leicester.
Really?
Yeah.
I've gone for a draw. I was actually going to go Arsenal win because, like I said, I think they hit the ground running and Leicester are struggling, but I've gone 2-2. 2-2 draw.
Fair enough. I actually think that with Leicester not playing Europa League on Thursday, I think it'll actually do them.
That's a good point.
I think if Leicester had Europa League on Thursday, I probably would have gone for Arsenal. But as they don't, I think Leicester will take it. We'll do it game by game, so I'll let you go first. Brentford, Burnley. Or Burnley, Brentford,
2-1 Brentford.
2-1 Brentford. Fair enough.
Yeah. Burnley are iffy, but Brentford, mate, if they come far in, they're unreal. So
I've gone 1-1.
No, okay.
I think,
I can see that.
I just think,
I
think if Burnley score first, I think it's 1-1. But if Brentford score first, I think it will. You're right. I think they will win. Liverpool, Brighton. I've gone 4-0 Liverpool.
I've got 3-0 Liverpool. I mean, it could go either way. Brighton could put up a big fight, but I just don't. They haven't got enough.
I just think that Liverpool, the way they're playing at the moment, I think Brighton could be in for a sore one on Saturday. City Palace. Shall I let you go first?
3-1. I think Palace are going to get one. Benteke, mate, he's going to come through and bang. No, City Palace. I've got 3-1 City.
The only person worse than Benteke is that Jordan Ayew. He's got like 33 attempts and scored one. Oh, Jesus, mate. Robbing the living. Go to the next one. Newcastle, Chelsea. I was being silly and I said 7-0, but I think 4-0. Is Lukaku back? Or is he still injured? If he's still out, then there's no chance for Newcastle because they're one of the smaller teams, and he only likes to score against them.
He knows he's a small team killer. I think he might be back. I don't know, but no, I think it's going to be a landslide. But I haven't gone that mad. I've gone 3-0 Chelsea.
I've gone 4-0 Chelsea. To be fair.
4-0.
Yeah, 4-0.
Nice.
Watford, Southampton.
Watford 1, Southampton 0. I actually think this is probably more likely to go for a draw.
Yeah, I've gone 2-2.
Yeah, I think it could be, but I don't know. I think, to be fair, I don't know why I've gone 1-0. This game has everything for like a bigger goal game, right? Watford just seem to score a lot. Southampton can score a lot if they can hold on to their own. But I've gone 1-0 Watford.
Fair enough. I've gone 2-2. Leads us to the best game of the weekend. Spurs versus United.
Yeah. Go on.
11-0. Neither team can defend. Ronaldo to score 6, Kane to score 3 or 4. No, I'm joking.
7.
I've gone 2-1 United. I just think
I've done exactly the same. 2-1 United.
I still think.
I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet because our defence, Varane's not back. Our defence is shambles, and I think they could sneak through. We have to. And the thing is, I like I said to you earlier, I really struggle not to back United in anything anyway. Even against Liverpool, I would have struggled to say Liverpool are going to win. But we have to get a big result. And a big result to me is like 4-5-0. But I think we're going to struggle. But still, it's great through 2-1.
Norwich versus Leeds.
2-1 Leeds. Don't ask me. Because the thing is, right, Norwich can't defend. and Leeds are good going forward. They're not very good going back. Nor are Norwich. I don't know. We'll see. This could be a good one for Norwich, right? They might actually find a team that they can expose at the back. You never know. But I still think Leeds are going to take it 2-1.
3-0 Leeds.
3-0 Leeds, you've gone.
Yeah, I think Leeds will have a very good day going forward.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Okay.
Yeah, possibly could be 3-1, maybe even 3-2. To be fair, Norwich could get a couple just because of the fact that Leeds can't defend. But I think Leeds will take it.
Yeah.
And then, am I missing a game here?
Villa West Ham.
Villa West Ham. That's not the end of the weekend though.
No, there's a Monday night. No, there is that Monday night one. Wolves Everton.
That's what stumped me. I thought it was a Monday night game.
But Villa West Ham, I've got 2-2 draw. I think West Ham probably are going to take it, but I've gone draw. Villa have to start.
I've gone 2-2 draw. Funny enough as well.
Oh, you have as well. Nice.
Yeah, I
I
went
just think Villa at
2-2
home.
draw.
They're going to put their back up and.
What did you put? 1 or 2?
2-2.
Sound. Then last game then.
Wolves Everton. As well. 1-1.
Draw 1-1. Very
Wolves
tough
don't
one,
concede
this one.
that many. Huh?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Very tough one, this one. Wolves don't concede that many, but then they don't score that many.
No, that's why I think it's going to be low. And Everton can score many, but I don't think after. I mean, maybe after that loss, they're going to be like, no, we've had enough. They're going to come out and still all firing. But Wolves are a good team still, so I've gone.
I was going to go 1-0, but considering you've gone 1-0, I'm going to go 1-0 Wolves.
Okay.
Just because I think that they're not going to have enough to score. I just think that Wolves will shut them out, but I think Wolves will get a goal early and then they'll shut them out for the rest of the game, basically. Is what I think.
Cool.
But Sound, that does all those. I'll see if I can get Rez's off him. I know obviously you was ill last week, so we couldn't get yours off him. Yours off you, should I say? Sorry. Well, me and your brother, we got 4 right each last week in terms of scores. No correct scores, but in terms of teams winning or drawing, we got correct. So yeah, I'll try and get his off him before Saturday. So then next week, hopefully, all 3 of us will be back, and we can go through the results from this weekend. But
I'm sure we'll talk about a packed weekend ahead of us, eh?
Oh well, if my psyche is in it, I'm sure we'll be going. Man United lost 3-1. Ollie's been
I've
sacked.
had enough of football. I'm never going to watch again. I'm done with everything. Football never at there.
Now I've got Conte in charge. Anyway, yeah, that does it for this week's episode of the Box2Box podcast. If you have been listening, thank you very much for listening. Please like and subscribe our YouTube channel, and like the video as well, just so that we know that you've been watching. I'm sure Gase will have the socials up on the screen at the end of this video. Please like and follow all our socials as well. If you want to be on the podcast at all, I did have a couple of guests. I was talking to your brother last week. I did have a couple of people that have messaged me to ask if they could come on. So I just need to iron out a date with them. One of them said that they were available for not next week, the week after, I believe. But obviously, you just have to make sure we iron a date out so that they're 100% on it. But
so viewers, keep an eye out on that. We'll have some nice new guests. Probably not United fans, so you'll probably like that aspect of it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
In the coming weeks.
So yeah, anyone can come on. If you do wish to come on, you don't have to be a United fan. You can be any fan. We'd prefer it if you weren't a United fan, so we can get some more views on different clubs and different things that are happening.
Diverse views.
It'd be nice to have some little clubs in there as well, sort of like some like
Arsenal's,
Tottenham's.
Yeah.
I was going to say Brighton, but they're really secretly ex-Arsenal fans. So maybe some of the smaller clubs, and give us your opinion on your club. Just see what's going on with you guys. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Have a good one.
See you later.
Bye-bye.